As a Director of Research of the Trade and Investment Queensland, she will report on the Australian economy and on opportunities for German companies. We are all excited to hear how those opportunities look like, as well as to hear what the existing partnerships are. A warm welcome to Henriette Pook with a lecture on the topic Queensland, Germany, Partnership and Opportunities. Good morning.
Good morning und guten Tag von meiner Seite. So many thanks for the introduction. Can you hear me okay? Yes. Yeah, okay, great. So my name is Henriette Pook and I work for Trade and Investment Queensland. Trade and Investment Queensland is the Queensland government's dedicated global business agency. So we connect Queensland exporters to the world and international businesses, research partners and investors to Queensland. So put simply, our role is to facilitate and support trade and investment links for Queensland. So we have 18 international offices around the globe, and in 2021 we were very happy to open the TIQ Germany office based in Frankfurt, and this is actually where I live and work as well. So I'm not living in Australia, and my role, as you have already said, it's called Director Research Partnerships. So I'm here to connect Queensland research organizations with industry and academic linkages, and so I'm very happy, since the University of Queensland is co-organizer of this event, to be able to be here and talk about all the great opportunities that are there or that already exist and can be developed between Queensland and Germany. So Germany holds a very special place in the hearts of many Queenslanders, with over 300,000 German Australians residing in Queensland and a strong and diverse community of Queenslanders living and working in Germany. In addition to people-to-people links, Germany is an increasingly important trade and investment partner for Queensland, Australia, and is a key focus for the Queensland trade and investment strategy, and hence also the opening of the office in Frankfurt. Our economies share strong foundations and are well placed to address key global opportunities across renewable energy transition, critical minerals, advanced manufacturing, science and technology. So what's the basis for Queensland's focus on the so-called biofutures? As you can see, it's really capitalizing on Queensland's abundant natural resources. Queensland's broadacre industries produce a wide range of high-quality commodities, including grain, oil, fiber, and sugar. And I just want to highlight that Queensland, for example, has 95% of availability of sugar, or Australia's sugarcane production. But there are also a few other sources that or feedstock or biomass that you have come across that are very that are grown in Queensland at a large scale. So therefore the Queensland government have defined biofutures as a priority sector to be developed, and the vision is for Queensland to become a hub in Asia Pacific in biomanufacturing and biorefining, so enabling global efforts to decarbonize and build diverse local industry capabilities. It's predicted that this industry could create a cross-state product of 1.8 billion in Queensland by 2035. And in order to support that industry development, the government has, for example, set up BioFutures Queensland. This is a sectoral team working across government industry to drive the development in Queensland. The government has also launched the so-called Queensland BioFutures 10-year roadmap and action plan that was already launched in 2016 and has had in the past or in the recent years a few achievements that I would like to mention. One, for example, is the Mackay biorefinery plant. That's a pilot-scale research and development integrated biorefinery for the conversion of biomass into bioethanol. And there's also within that biofutures, less relevant for here, there's a strong focus also on sustainable aviation fuels. But what I also would like to highlight is actually, as part of the strategy, the Queensland government has appointed a so-called BioFutures Industry Envoy. That's Professor Ian O'Hara. He has a very strong, and his role is to promote Queensland as an investment destination and connecting technology providers, research institutions, and raw material suppliers. Professor O'Hara has extensive experience with the Queensland sugar industry and is now Deputy Dean of the Faculty of Engineering at the Queensland University of Technology. And this slide is more to show you that the Queensland government is also taking a few other actions and initiatives for a transition to a broader circular economy. And just one thing I want to highlight here, there's, for example, the Queensland Biomass Mapping and Data Portal, and this provides detailed information and data on residues and waste streams and types and region and available volumes, which might be of interest to you as well. But now, the history of Germany, Queensland innovation and research, and you might be surprised how strong and established the links are. So we enjoy long-standing trade, economic, business, education and cultural linkages with Germany. This is highlighted by more than 700 German academics and researchers that are currently based in Queensland. And between 2018 and 2022, there were over 7,500 Queensland Germany research co-publications. The top fields of research were biomedical, clinical science, and biological sciences. And one initiative that I also want to highlight is, for example, the annual German Week that's organized in Queensland, including an Oktoberfest, but also some other elements. There's also a Science Day and a Business Day that really highlights and aims to strengthen the collaboration and the linkages between Germany and Queensland. And as you can see from all the logos there are already some very well-established also German research partners that are heavily involved. You can see Fraunhofer, Max Planck, they have their only international node at QUT, for example. So, yeah. And this is more also here to showcase the breadth and the quantity as well of Queensland, Germany co-publications. So I don't want to go into much detail about that slide. And all that has also fed into more strategic political relationships with Germany. The first thing on a federal level is the joint declaration of intent for cooperation in bioeconomy, which I think is very relevant for this audience here. It was signed in 2022, and on the picture you can see that's Bettina Stark-Watzinger plus the Queensland Treasurer Cameron Dick, and they have both signed that declaration of intent, and that translated actually in the Queensland Germany Bioeconomy Collaborative Science program, quite a mouthful. And the first round of that program was opened last year and closed in June, and we are actually expecting the recommended projects are going to be announced this month, and hopefully there will be a second and third round because the program will run until 2025. And there's also a strategic relationship since this year on the state level. There's also a declaration of intent that was signed with Bavaria in March last year, and there was also now a research call opened in March. This program is a bit broader. It covers a range of different research sectors, as you can see from the slide, and the project or the call will close in June, and it's also anticipated that there will be further rounds for collaboration. And this is to showcase also more on the polymer research, what are the fields of collaboration happening between Germany and Queensland. As you can see, 640 co-publications over the last 5 years. And these are the institutions that were involved in these co-publications. And there are a few initiatives, given that the University of Queensland is co-organizing today, that I would like to highlight that are targeting bioplastics and biocomposites. So one initiative is the ARC Training Center for Bioplastics and Biocomposites. They are headquartered at the University of Queensland. And the main purpose is on on training futures or PhDs for that center. But I don't want to go into many more details because I know Professor Bronwyn Laycock, she's already waiting, and online she's a deputy director of that center and will definitely, I'm sure, will provide further details. But I also want to shout out to Dr. Luigi Vandi. Maybe Luigi, you can just wave your hand. He's also here from the University of Queensland and is co-heading the Center of Advanced Materials and Processing and Manufacturing at UQ, and is a great source of knowledge about all biopolymer research that's happening at UQ, and I just encourage you to reach out to him and have a chat while he's here. And this, just want to flag that as well, not fully relevant, but the Queensland is also a quantum state and has, as one of the only states in Australia, came up with an own quantum and advanced technology strategy, which sees $26 million investment to further drive the commercialization of Queensland's quantum research. And why do I mention this? As you know, quantum tech has a range of interesting current and future global application. And in that context, again, the University of Queensland was successful in their bid to establish and lead a center of excellence in quantum biotech, which then definitely is also of interest to further industry development and research development in biotech. And hence, I just wanted to raise that. And maybe some of you have seen the announcement that PSI Quantum, a company, has now announced that they will build the first commercially useful quantum computer in Brisbane. The announcement just came out 4 weeks ago. And last but not least, so Queensland is also very proud to host the Brisbane 2032 Olympics. And this should be the first carbon-positive Olympic and Paralympic Games in 2032, and this ambitious goal will no doubt also further drive Queensland's BioFuture sector and might be a great opportunity for you all to come and visit Queensland and see yourself. So, thank you very much. That's all from my side.
Thank you very much for the exciting insights, Henriette Pook. And now we would like to open the session for questions and answers. So, does anybody have a question from the audience?
So, feel free, stand up. There's a corner for questions. If not, I'd like to start with the first question. Very interesting lecture you gave. Quite interesting that Queensland, as one state of Australia, is to position that strong into the relationship and engagement to German universities. Quite also impressed about the numbers and also the names approach, at least in the list of publications. Is there any kind of similar focus also coming from German side that one particular state like Bavaria, you mentioned Bavaria relations exist, is also standing up and there's a more closer relationship interesting coming up like that, or do you want to keep it more general in the interaction with the German states?
You mean if there are other German states involved
Yes.
with Queensland? For example, Hessen, they also have a collaboration scheme with Queensland, which is more on a student exchange, but it's going to be extended to research as well. I think, Queensland is open to all opportunities, and as I explained in discussions last night, I think it's also largely due to the German heritage. There's so many German researchers active in Queensland, and that really helps to stimulate and grow the relationships with Germany. So we are very fortunate to have that collaborations and
Yes,
these
indeed.
contacts and linkages.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, thank you. Are there any other questions out of the auditorium yet? Yes, please.
Hello, Henriette. Thank you for the great presentation. There is a lot of initiatives between Queensland and Germany, as you mentioned. But with regards to the Olympics in 2032, what do you think German companies here who are willing or wanting to use that as a platform to showcase their technology, what can they do to start engaging with the event? Can they go through Queensland Trade and Investment? And
Yeah,
do
you
have
can
any
definitely
suggestions?
start approaching us. Like the Queensland government is currently still in process and figuring out, the processes for application for bids and tenders. But definitely, I guess we are the first point of contact here in Germany if you want to know more about the Olympics and how you can become involved. So please feel free to reach out.
Thank you very much, Henriette Pook.
Thank you.
Thank you, Henriette.